Hi, everyone. We hope you're enjoying RubyConf 2021, whether you're in person or tuning in virtually. My name is Antigone Sananis, and I'm the Director of Operations at Kolide.
And I'm Jason Meller. I'm the founder and CEO of Kolide. At Kolide, we make it our mission to help organizations practice what we call honest security. This is different from normal security companies that really like to lock down devices. We think that our mission is really to help educate people on how to fix their own devices, and we want to do that with empathy, respect, and care. So while what we do is really empowering folks to fix their own computers, at the end of the day, we're really building a relationship between the end users themselves and the security and IT team at our customers' locations. One thing that you should know about Collide is we think that this idea of honest security is really important. In fact, I wrote a whole manifesto about our philosophy around honesty, how it impacts the way that we build our product, the way that we interact with our customers, and the way that we actually conduct ourselves and treat each other inside of the business. This is actually the full URL. It's honest.security. It's a free guide. It really demonstrates how we think about this problem differently compared to other security companies. One way that we can show you, though, how we treat this problem differently is actually show you a little bit more of our product. So Collide at its essence is a SaaS app that's actually running on Slack, and we deliver interactive security recommendations and instructions that are tailor-made for each individual end user. So, for example, you might have a salesperson in your organization that has downloaded some Salesforce data that has some private information in there. That's normally fine, but sometimes you don't want that lingering around for more than a couple weeks. This is a perfect use case for Collide. We can actually message that user after it's been on the device for a little bit too long. We show them exactly where those files are. We show them where to remove them. And then right in Slack itself, they can actually verify that they did it right. All of our recommendations are like this, and that makes our solution super actionable. And it's really appreciated by the folks who are receiving those messages in general. The other thing that we pride ourselves on, this is part of our honest security bend in general, is transparency. So unlike other security software where it's really opaque, it's a black box, you don't really know that it's even running, Collide introduces itself to each end user and guides them through the process of actually installing the endpoint agent. That's the thing that's actually collecting all the ground truth on the device so that we can even deliver those recommendations. So we actually walk them through, we show them exactly what data we collect, what we don't collect, and they actually themselves walk through the process of installing the agent on Mac, Windows, or Linux devices. Finally, when it comes to privacy, this is where we really shine. We want to create a situation where employees trust the security team, not just because the security team says they should, but because each one of them can individually verify the privacy of the data. And once again, we do this all through the Slack app. They can simply type a command like privacy. We can show them who in the organization has access to device data, which checks are being run against their device, and they can even download a full copy of all the data that Collide collects about their device so they can verify the things that we're collecting are really benign in general, and we're not looking at things like browser history or other things that might be more privacy invasive. It's really the first time any security product has treated this problem with any level of sincerity, and this is a first-class feature within our product. So we are, in essence, a Ruby on Rails shop, and we're hiring Rails engineers to help us build out the next level of our software. So let me give you a quick overview of what we're looking for and just a little bit of introduction to what engineering at Collide is like. So I'm passionate about Ruby on Rails. I've been writing it pretty much my entire professional career as an engineer and as a product manager. Rails powers our entire application, from the Slack app that you just saw to the device data ingestion that powers those recommendations, to the administrative user interface where our customers set up the checks and edit the messages and even view how they're doing over time. We love it so much that we make it a point to stay up to date. We just migrated to the Rails 7 alpha, probably beta by the time that we're talking, and we use Ruby 3. By the end of this year, we'll be on Ruby 3.1 right after it's released. You're joining a really small team where you can make a big impact. At the time of this recording, we're actually only 8 full-time employees, 4 of which, including myself, are actually doing the entirety of engineering at Collide. But that doesn't mean that we're a small company by revenue or by traction. We just raised a $17 million Series B. We're going to be growing a lot. We have hundreds of customers and some really great brands. 1Password just became a customer. And there's just a lot of enthusiasm around the company and the solution in general. We are all in on server-side rendering. We're trying to limit how much complexity is in our stack. And so we also want to empower anyone who joins us can build features from start to finish without getting too bogged down in the UI. So that means ERB templates. And then when we do need to use JS, we just sprinkle a little bit on top using Stimulus and other tools like Hotwire. When it comes to simplicity, you have to talk about our production environment. We don't have something super complicated. We host basically everything in Heroku. Our only two infrastructure dependencies are Postgres and Redis. And it's a multi-tenant production environment. We're not setting up these bespoke environments for each one of our customers. Everything's hosted on the same stack in the same place. We are a remote only team, remote first. And that means we try to make sure that you're set up for the week to be productive and we don't bother you a lot. Most of our communication happens asynchronously through Slack. That's no surprise there. We use GitHub, and we all are pretty allergic to onerous multiple meetings a week. We just have one mandatory engineering meeting per week where we kind of get you set up. We verify that everybody's on the same page, and then off to the races you go. And then the engineers tend to collaborate amongst themselves and add ad hoc meetings or discussions when they're needed. The cool part about Kolide is that while Rails and Ruby power the majority of our stack, the things that happen on the device itself, that's all written in Go, C, C++, Objective-C, and we're leveraging some really cool open source projects as well, like OS Query. Everything that we do in this space in the name of transparency is happening in open source. It's all MIT licensed. Everything that we do on the device is visible to the entire world. And so if you're in a position where you are a Ruby engineer and you're looking to start learning some of these other skills and languages and a different way of really kind of thinking about software engineering, this is a great place to get your feet wet and help us build some core capabilities into our agent that can help power the next generation of recommendations that we deliver to our customers. So with that, one of the great things about working at Kolide is really our benefits program. We try to make it very competitive, and I'm excited to have Antigone run you through that.
Thanks, Jason. I'm really excited to talk about our benefits. At Kolide, we value our employees' time and we want to support our team so they can have a healthy, well-rounded work-life balance. To that end, we offer a comprehensive benefits package that reflects our company culture of honesty, transparency, and mutual respect. So we all work really hard, but we believe that being a professional also means taking care of yourself, your family, and your future. To help with that, we support flexible working hours so you can work when you're most productive, as well as open, unlimited vacation policies so you can take time off for things that are important to you. And that's just not us saying that. We actually really do encourage you to take time off. Collide also covers 100% of the monthly premiums for medical, dental, and vision plans for you and your family. We also cover $500 towards your medical deductible payments per year. And for growing families, we have a 12-week fully paid parental leave policy. Additionally, we offer a health and wellness benefit that can be used towards your mental or physical health, be it fitness classes, guided meditation, a nutritional counselor, or even a bike share. We also offer a conference and educational reimbursement where we cover the cost of one conference per year, including all travel and expenses, as well as $500 towards any form of continuing learning that you're interested in or you desire. As a remote company, we want to set you up for success, so we offer stipends for your cell phone and internet, as well as $2,000 towards furnishing your home office. Finally, Collide offers one of the best 401k plans on the market through Vanguard, so you can plan for your future. So, if you want to work for a company that values you as a whole person, where your contributions have a huge impact, check us out. We're hiring and we'd love to hear from you.
Thanks, Antigone. We worked really hard in this benefits package and we wanted to make it one of the best in the industry. And I think we've achieved that, but we're always looking for feedback. So definitely hit us up. If you go through the application process, we'd love to get your feedback on how competitive our benefits are compared to our peers. And with that, we're going to be here in person. This is a pre-recorded talk, but I'm actually going to be giving a talk on Wednesday. So I think when this airs, it hasn't happened yet. And so you can find me in the ethics track. I'll be talking about dishonest software, fighting back against industry norms. We're going to be touching upon a lot of the themes and principles of Kolide in that talk. And it's a great opportunity to meet us after the talk to learn more about the company. A bunch of us are going to be here in person too. We'll be wearing various forms of Kolide swag, so you can identify us pretty easily. Just look for us wearing those shirts or other hats, things like that that indicate that we work at the company. can come up to any of us if you want to strike up a conversation. And if you hit us up early in person, we might have some swag left over that we can hook you up with as well.
To apply, head over to collide.com/careers for more information. We'll be looking out for your resume. You can even mention RailsConf or RubyConf, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Absolutely. Can't wait to hear from you. And please help us build the next generation of honest security software. Thanks, everybody, and enjoy the rest of the conference. Bye.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. We are so excited to be here at RubyConf 2021. My name is Kim, and I lead technical recruitment here at Fullscript. Here I have with me Andrew Markle. He is one of our senior Ruby engineers on our infrastructure team. We've recorded this video to share a little bit about what we do at Fullscript, how we do it, and how you can join us on our journey. So who are we? Fullscript is the Canadian-grown tech company behind the leading virtual dispensing software and fulfillment for integrative medical professionals and their patients. Helping people get better is core to absolutely everything we do. It's our purpose for building our platform, and it's our commitment to our own teammates and our own developer community. So how do we build it?
Yeah, so currently we have around 70 engineers, and we've organized everyone into small teams that we call pods that generally have a domain or area of expertise. So we have a team that's responsible for our public API, for our payments, for specific areas of our product, for infrastructure, DevOps. Get the idea. So we've invested very early on in really great developer tooling. So we have a command line tool, for example, that's written in Go, where you can get a new developer set up on a new machine in a couple of hours. We do rolling deploys every 25 minutes. And really, there's an emphasis on removing repetitive tasks. So engineers shouldn't be spending time figuring out how to deploy or spin up a staging environment. Instead, we want people to solve problems and computers to really do the boring stuff. Another thing worth noting is we have a culture that's based around bite-sized PRs, which I think is a bit different than most people. So for a couple of reasons, really, you get much better feedback on your pull request is one reason. When you have a large PR, people tend to look at it quickly and give you a thumbs up. But when you have a small PR, people kind of get into it. You know, they question your choice of wording, your name choice on your method, and your approach that you took. And this just leads to better code. And it's a lot less risky as well when you're deploying these small changes to production. And you just don't have these long-lived branches either. So it means we can really deploy to production constantly. And to make this all work, though, what it really means is we need a high level of ownership and trust on our engineers. Engineers are super smart, and it doesn't make a lot of sense not to leverage that. We don't want people just building wireframes. That's not what we do. Instead, we want people to solve problems and be involved in the solution. So what this means is engineers are happier. I'm an engineer. I'm happier. And at the end of the day, the product is just better. And so it's kind of a win-win, both for engineers and for the business itself. And really, engineering is really core to our business. It's kind of the main differentiator that separates us from our competition. We'd much rather hire more engineers to solve problems that our business has rather than hire more salespeople to support some janky workflow or something like that. We'd much rather like automate that janky workflow and support our business with better tooling that we need. In terms of our tech stack, we are on Ruby 2.7. We should be on 3 pretty soon. We are on Rails 6.1, Elasticsearch. We use for all our searching GraphQL. We use a fair amount. Most of our traffic comes through GraphQL. And then on the front end, we are on all the nice JavaScript things. We have React, TypeScript, and Apollo to handle the GraphQL requests. And we do a little bit of Golang as well for our DevOps tooling and things like that. And I think kind of like most places that you'd want to work at kind of fall into 2 categories. You kind of have like a small startup on one side. And in my experience, like these are generally like small teams. You have a shared ownership of the code base. And most of these tend to prioritize building things really quickly. If you've worked at a startup, you know what it's like lots of rapid change. You build one thing one week and then you throw it away the next week. And there's long hours, there's rapid growth, that kind of stuff. Then on the other side, there's kind of like these large giants, these behemoths that operate at these like incredible volumes of scale. And then maybe they maybe have like hundreds or maybe even thousands of developers at the organization. And we're kind of like right in the middle, which kind of makes us a really different place to work. The thing that I really like is that we're still small enough they can come in and make a big impact and not get lost in the crowd. The other thing that's really interesting is we haven't solved a lot of the challenges that the giants have really already solved. There's not too many times in your career where you get to re-architect a large application or shard a database. Most businesses tend to go broke before these challenges come up. And right now we're in this real sweet spot where we have the time, we have resources, and we have the need to really solve these problems now. So it's an exciting place to be, to kind of like work on these scaling problems and build these foundational tools from the ground up. When we started, we were on your kind of like standard Rails MVC. Now we tend to use a lot of Poros for our business logic, but otherwise it's pretty kind of like standard Rails architecture. And the main difference is we're not generally using Rails controllers or views, but instead most of our traffic tends to go through the GraphQL API, and our views are our single page app that's handled by React and Apollo. So the main challenge though that we're having right now is the standard way of doing Rails doesn't really scale to the number of developers that we have. So code changes tend to happen at the domain layer rather than at the technology layer, and our teams specialize in specific domains. So the challenge is, how do we re-architect our Rails monolith to something that is domain specific, that has boundaries between teams, that's decoupled really. It's not easy to do this, and we're at the size and scale now where this is becoming critical. So re-architecting our Rails app is a really challenging but rewarding project that all of our RubyGeosts are going to take part in. And the other thing is that at some point our database is like going to metaphorically catch on fire. So horizontally scaling our data layers coming up. That's something we're aware of. The other thing worth mentioning is that we've been playing kind of catch up in the last year or so, really getting onto the latest version of Ruby and the latest version of Rails. And as we do this, there's just a lot of like interesting possibilities that open up. I'm sure we're going to hear about all the things that are coming into Ruby 3.1 this year. Types has obviously become a big thing in the community, and we're just excited to take advantage of these things. It's really a great time to be a Rubyist and to be part of this community.
So in addition to our technology and some of the challenges that we're going to be facing, we've built a community here where people can thrive, they can grow, they can feel a strong sense of impact through their work. Our platform is positively impacting the lives of thousands of practitioners, millions of patients, and it's something that we're very excited about. You can feel that excitement when you speak with any member of our team. To give you a little bit of insight into our community, we care about employees reaching their full potential. We support employees' wellness goals with our benefits plans, our discount on products, company-wide health programs. We're also seriously dedicated to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Our dedicated Deep Council ensures that we're advocating for equality and encouraging changes within ourselves, but also within our communities. Another big thing here for us is our culture of learning. We empower each other through lunch and learns, through internal learning ecosystems, hackathons, educational spending allowances. We actually give our engineers something that we call 10% time. It allows them to work on something outside of their regularly scheduled programming. But we're not just a company, we're a community. Clubs, teams, lean-in circles, ERGs, councils, these are essential parts of our culture and the way that we work here at Fullscript. We're certified carbon neutral, having taken our first big step in creating a more sustainable future, and that's something that we're really excited about as well. We are so unbelievably proud of our entire team and everyone that contributes to the growth of our platform. In 2020 and 2021, we've received a number of HR, cultural, technical, business awards, including securing a spot on the top e-commerce companies in Canada growth list, which we're really proud of. We've built something really special here in our pursuit of our mission to helping people get better. In engineering specifically, we're at an inflection point of our business, like Andrew said, and we're not slowing down. We have increased our engineering team by over 50% this year. We plan to increase our engineering team by over 50% again next year. And with that, we've been able to add in more, as Andrew said, pods, more teams to build out some new features, work on some existing features, and some of the initiatives that we have coming down the pipeline. At Fullscript, we invest in product engineering and in data quite heavily. We over-index these functions to meet the demands of our users. And we're hiring. We have some really exciting challenges ahead of us as we scale. We're looking for passionate developers that have an interest in joining us on our journey. Some of the things that we offer to our employees, they benefit from a number of perks and benefits like generous PTO, half-day Fridays, customizable benefits, and education budgets, things like that, as we had mentioned. And our work where you work well philosophy means that employees can either work in the office, they can work at home, or they can have a hybrid of both. We have physical offices in Ontario, Canada, and in Arizona, but we have teammates remotely across Canada and the United States. Essentially, in short, we hire great people, we give them the power, and we trust them, give them the tools to build incredible things. If it sounds like a community that you'd like to be a part of, feel free to reach out to us. We are going to be here live. Some of our recruiters will be here, as well as our engineers that can answer any questions that you might have about Fullscript or development here. We also have some online resources. You can see our careers page where we're constantly posting new opportunities as we grow. And our developer handbook is actually public as well. You can take a peek at that and get a deeper kind of glimpse into our development here at Fullscript and how we feel about code. And that's it. So thank you for tuning into our video. We're looking forward to meeting with you, taking a glimpse into our journey, and have a great time at the conference.
Hello, everyone. We are so excited to be a sponsor, to attend, and to meet all of you at RubyConf this year. Today, we will be diving into who CZI is, what we are working on, and how to connect with us both at and after the conference. I'll kick us off by introducing myself. My name is Hannah Taylor, and I am a Hiring Experience Associate at CZI. And now I will kick it over to my team member, Katie, to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Super happy to sponsor RubyConf this year. I am Katie Long, and I'm a technical recruiter supporting the education initiative here at CZI.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So at CZI, a future for everyone is our North Star. It is our mission. Back when CZI was founded in 2015, we vowed to solve some of society's toughest challenges, from eradicating disease and improving education to addressing the needs of our local communities. Our mission here at CZI is to really build a more inclusive, just, and healthy future for everyone. During our time together today, we hope that you learn a little bit more about how we do that. So CZI is a very interesting organization because we work at the intersection of philanthropy and technology. Within our technical teams, we partner with experts across the organization to help bring technology to the table to drive new and creative solutions. With these advancements in technology, we're able to pair them with grant making and impact investing to really accelerate the progress towards CZI's mission. So CZI is built on 5 core values: building for the long term, be daring and humble, learn fast, stay close to the real problems, and collaboration is the tool. Here is a quick video of a couple of CZIers across the organization who talk about the amazing way technology can be used to embody these values.
Okay, let's get everyone to settle. See how that happens. All right, everybody. What would you want to tell someone about being here? That we exist.
I've worked in Silicon Valley for over a dozen years, and I fell in love with the ability to build products that people use that really help them in their day-to-day lives. I don't think anybody ever gets into software thinking that they're not going to change the world, but are we really tackling the most important problems? So I have a kid, and there's a lot of things going on in the world that make me a little bit afraid for his future. For all the issues I cared about, mental health and education, I could see tech being a powerful tool in my favor to affect change.
We also have core initiatives that CZI is comprised of. So here are our initiatives across education, science, community, and alongside our justice and opportunity partners. We pair technology with grant making, impact investing, and collaboration to help accelerate the pace of progress towards an equitable future. And while we no longer have our Justice and Opportunity Initiative in-house, we work really closely with some of our partners at the Just Trust and Forward.us to further the work that we do across criminal justice reform and immigration. Now we'll take a deep dive into our education initiative, and I'll pass it over to Katie for that.
Thanks, Hannah. Our education initiative is the oldest body of work that we have here at CZI. And we believe we need to take a whole child approach to education, one that honors the humanity of every teacher and student, and apply an equitable lens to make sure that every student is reaching their full potential. Our education initiative is focused on ensuring that things like someone's race and socioeconomic background or status is not predictive of their outcome, and that every child can enter their adulthood to reach their full potential. We're really making sure that by the time students graduate, that we're setting them up for success in life and not just passing the next standardized test. So how do we approach our work? The education initiative works on 3 different pillars. The first is advancing research to practice to broaden learning environments and support equity-driven, evidence-based solutions to each classroom. The second pillar is to have learning scientists and technical teams create tools for educators that help them engage with students and to achieve the whole child approach. The third is to invest in policy advocacy, grassroots organizing, and partnership to help revamp the education system. And the CZI technology team for the education initiative leads the ongoing development and improvement of the Summit Learning platform and along, working as a technical service provider to ensure that tools support teachers and students and their needs. Both products were built on the Ruby on Rails framework. And the Summit Learning Platform team, which is the largest and most established tech team here at CZI, has about 35 engineers and has been developing the platform for over 6 years. It's built on top of Ruby on Rails with more than 2,000 Ruby files and 150,000 lines of code. As a software engineer on the education team, you would have the opportunity to collaborate deeply with educators and learning scientists. Engineers have the opportunity to make people's lives easier and better, but that's not the same level of impact as providing real-time information on how students are progressing so that they have a better chance of living up to their full potential. The benefit of working on a product that is not revenue focused is that you can truly focus on the user, which is the students and the teachers. And now let's take a second to hear directly from 2 members of our education team, Carrie Lee, who is an engineering director, and Tony Ta, a senior software engineer, to hear their perspective on what it is like to work on education.
Carrie Lee, and I'm a director of engineering on the Along team at education at CZI.
My name is Tony. I work on the education initiative here at CZI.
Our team is focused on helping teachers and students develop stronger relationships and making it possible for every student to feel that their teacher really sees and understands them.
We have to handle a lot of student data in our education products. And for the safety and privacy of our students and teachers, and to conform with state and federal laws, we need to make sure that we're being responsible when collecting, processing, and displaying this data.
So the Along product is using a Ruby Rails backend. We actually have started using Sorbet, a static type checker for Ruby, and actually CZI made the Sorbet Rails gem, and that's what we own and maintain that to provide Rails support for Sorbet.
I love Ruby. I'm super lucky to be able to use Ruby every day. Our products are built on Rails, and here on the Trust team, we've developed various frameworks in Ruby to help us manage permissioning for what data can be seen.
What really makes me excited about Long is it's really providing a space for the teachers and students to really connect.
I love working at CZI because we're truly driven by our mission. We give away our products for free, so there's no sales or funding pressure. And what this means is we're free to build products that are focused on improving student outcomes.
And now I'll take some time to dive into what benefits our employees receive here at CZI. So our employees receive a competitive benefits package that includes 100% covered medical, vision, and dental insurance, a 401k plan where CZI will match your contributions fully up to the annual IRS limit. They also want to provide employees with opportunities to continue learning and developing both in their technical as well as their non-technical skills. So we all receive professional development credits that can be used on development opportunities of our choice. We also receive a whole you fund where CZI provides a cash-based benefit to celebrate our anniversaries here at CZI. And lastly, we have a generous amount of time off, including paid company holidays, 4 weeks of paid time off, sick time, and COVID time, and many more, but these are just a few. And lastly, we wanted to share some of our open roles that we have listed here. We have a variety of different roles, including engineering manager, data, full stack, and senior and staff software engineering roles. Please check out our careers page to learn more about these open roles and the way that we work at CZI. Also, make sure to check out our social media pages and follow us to stay up to date about what we're working on here at CZI. And then we would love to see you at our Discord channel later to meet some members of our technical teams. So feel free to stop by and say hi. And thank you so much for joining us today. And we hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Bye.